On this episode of Shannon Ayers Speaks,
we want to welcome the awesome, the debonair T.C. Carson to Hello Beautiful.
I didn't think I was better than anybody. I just felt I was just as good as everybody else. So I tell people this is grown folk stuff. You know, we're gonna have grown folk music, grown folk drinks, and grown folk food. I really try to maintain this body because this is the only one you got. So, you know, I really try. I got some other stuff to do. So, you know, really this time period is really about us. It's not about everybody else that we're talking to. It really is about us. It's about what are we doing for our community. Until we stop asking for that validation, we won't have lasting platforms. We have to create our art, create our music, our stories, tell our stories on our platform so we can be true to who we are. There's only one of you. There's only one person that looks like you. There's only one person that sounds like you. There's only one person that does what you do. Don't try to be somebody else. Be who you are.
So our theme for this year is defining self-love. How does TC define self-love? We want to welcome the awesome, the debonair T.C. Carson to Hello Beautiful. Welcome, sir.
Well, hello, beautiful. How you doing today?
Thank you. I'm awesome now that I am sitting in front of the great, the talented, the just phenomenal T.C. Carson. You have made my day, sir. This is just truly an honor, having watched your career over the years. And we know people try to reduce you to just a voice, but we know that there's so much more to T.C. Carson, which is why we wanted to do this here with you today. So again, thank you and welcome to Hello Beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So we'll just dive right in. Tell us about the young TC, Chicago-born Carson.
The young Terrence Carson is an only child, grew up in the projects with a mom that was real clear about education and being the best you can be. That being said, that fed over into my art, the art that I wanted to do. I always wanted to make sure that I did the best that I could do in anything that I decided to do, because I know Miss Annie wasn't having it. She said she don't like no half-ass, you know.
Right. Trust me, I got one of those mamas.
yeah. And but she didn't. Once she saw that I really enjoyed singing and dancing and theater, she didn't get in the way. She kind of let me do it. The first time I sang on stage was in fourth grade. We did an assembly, and fourth grade, Huffenberg, Mr. Huffenberg. And he asked me to sing Aquarius from Hair. Very progressive teacher. And the first time I sang, I know, right? The first time I sang on stage and I saw the response, I was like, oh, okay, I like this. And from that point, you know, went to high school and we formed our own theater group, the Black Thespians of Argo. And we wrote our own plays and toured colleges and high schools. Wow. When I went to college at the University of Illinois, I studied architecture and interior design, but it was really about theater and music and dance for me. Was in everything I could be in. Was in everything I could be in, and then some.
How was that for you, self-esteem wise, especially growing up in Chicago in that era, when you think about the skin that you're in and you think about just Chicago and being in the projects? How was that for you, self-esteem wise?
I never really had a self-esteem problem. I didn't think I was better than anybody. I just felt I was just as good as everybody else.
Oh, that's good.
You know, so I wasn't scared to do things. I wasn't scared to make a mistake. You know, when you make a mistake, then next time you do it better. You don't do that again. Yeah. You know, so I didn't really, when I think about it, I didn't really have much issue in high school. After we created the theater troupe, there was a place for, people like me. I'm not very athletic, although I did try everything. Tried basketball, tried football, tried wrestling. Um, Senior year, I did gymnastics, which was cool. I kind of did that my freshman year in high school, in college as well. But then other things just started taking my focus. Uh, but yeah, I never really thought that I couldn't do anything I really put my mind to, and that's my mother. She's like, if you can figure it out, you put your mind to it, you figure it out.
No, that's
And
beautiful.
that's kind of how I grew up.
Yeah. I mean, and it speaks volumes given your work ethic. It speaks volumes given, just how you have perfected your craft. I should say crafts, plural, because you are a man of many talents. You sing, you act, you dance. What don't you do?
There's a lot of stuff I don't do. I don't really play an instrument. I play at the piano, but I don't really play the piano. I
Okay.
would love to play an instrument. Yeah, I thought about taking up a guitar, but just no time right now. Everything is happening. There's no time right now. Even
So,
now, I came in. We're opening up a new jazz club here in Atlanta called Rebels, and I was there, doing stuff. And I looked at my watch. I said, "Oh, I gotta go get to this interview." Coming from there to here on a Saturday, So there's always something to
I
do.
feel honored. I do.
Oh, I feel honored.
Oh, no, making me a part of your day. I mean, I look forward to the opening of Rebels. Do you have an opening date, or are you guys still
We
working?
don't have an opening date yet. We're looking at June. Because of the pandemic, a lot of materials are hard to get. A lot of people don't have the things we need. So we're just really working to get all the stuff we need to have.
And this will be kind of like a coffee house type environment, right?
Absolutely. You're right. It is called Rebels Coffee House.
Yeah.
And it really is going to be a gathering place. We wanted, Atlanta has a lot of places to go, but not many places that cater. There's no dedicated jazz room in the city. And there's not many places that really cater to an older clientele. So I tell people this is grown folk stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have grown folk music, grown folk drinks, and grown folk food. We're not frying food. We're working to do healthy food for us. We'll have a market, and the market will have our meats that have been pre-seasoned and our salads and stuff. So people that are on fixed incomes with their EBT, they can come in and they can get things to take home and cook. We'll have a teaching kitchen. There's a school down the street, Washington High School, that has a culinary program. And so we're going to funnel their kids into our program and hopefully get them into a college or into restaurants that they want to get into. So it really is something for the community. That's the biggest thing about it. It really is about us.
That is beautiful. I love that. Oh my gosh. Yeah. We're gonna have to come check out Rebels.
Absolutely.
I know when I went to Xavier University in New Orleans. Shout out to our HBCUs.
Yes, sir.
Oh my gosh, we used to do coffee houses there all the time, and I mean, I miss that environment.
Yeah, that energy. It's an energy about it,
Yeah, the spoken word,
Mm-hmm.
the jazz, and it's a different energy, and it was positive, and it was
Yes.
and it was something that was uplifting, and not necessarily something that was going to tear down the community, but just a feel good environment.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, do you cook?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been cooking for a long time. I have on my Instagram, I have what I call TC's recipes, and we've actually been filming that and waiting on my editor to finish editing so we can put that on my YouTube channel. But we'll have a show called TC's Recipes, and it really is about learning how to cook healthy at home quickly, easily. A lot of people don't want to cook, but if I show you how to cook it quickly, or I show you how to do some hacks where you can, buy some semi-prepared stuff and come home and zhuzh it up a little bit, then you'll eat better at home. You won't eat so much fast food with all that sodium and those chemicals in it.
And is that what's attributed to you looking so good this many years later?
Well, thank you. I will take that. I try to eat healthy. I try to, work out. Yeah, I really try to maintain this body. because this is the only one you got. So, you know, I'm really trying. I got some other stuff to do. So, you know.
But I'm telling you, honestly, minus the gray, you still look like Kyle Barker.
I'll pay you later.
No, really, really. Look, I always tell my guests, this is not fluff. I'd rather not say anything at all than to sit there and tell you something that I know is going to air. And because then people look at me like, now you know, because my people will get me if I get on here and I don't tell the truth.
Okay.
So no, you've aged very well, and I tell you, it is comforting to see when I saw your video come together, and when you think about the community and you think about where we are today, to see artists such as yourself still involved, still engaged, and still making a difference, you know, that goes a long way with me.
Oh, thank you. Well, we have artists, we have a platform that people listen to, and, you know, you want to beat people over the head with things, but you want to give them information in a way that they can, they respond to, you know, and really this time period is really about us. It's not about everybody else that we're talking to. It really is about us. It's about what are we doing for our community? How are we taking care of us? We keep asking everybody else to do it, and we're not doing it.
Yeah.
Until we start, then, you know, it's not going to change until we change. And that's what Rebels is about. That's what I'm about with this part of my life. I really want to do things that help to push my culture forward, help to push my people forward.
Yeah. I tell you what, you know, we all know that you've done so much more than just living single, but just to kind of touch on that specifically, imagery goes a very long way. And the reason why your character resonated with more than just the women, but it really resonated because of how you carried yourself, because of how you spoke, and because of, you know, we had the fun part of it and that was great, but it was the total package. Where did that come from in terms of what you exuded when you were on camera and the chemistry between you and Erica Alexander?
Well, when I met Erica, it was like I met my other half. And then we found out we were born on the same day, not the same year, but the same day. And it was over after that. It was like, I'm the male counterpart to her female counterpart. She's the female counterpart to my male counterpart, you know. But the chemistry between everyone, we were really friends. We really love each other. We still talk today. You know, we have a text thread that we have, and we get on and we chat back and forth, you know. The friendships you saw were real. The love you saw was real. It was real easy to work with them because we knew each other and we really liked hanging out. So it was cool.
But I mean, the chemistry was obvious, and, you know, it's just very unfortunate. I remember, I think I was listening to Kim Fields talk about, you know, just how living single, you know, had come to an end. And when you think about the categories that they put us in, you know, we're not just a show. You know, it has to be a Black show, or it has to be in a certain category where it doesn't get the recognition that it deserves. You know?
And see, for me, until we stop asking for that validation, we won't have lasting platforms. We have to create our art, create our music, our stories, tell our stories on our platform so we can be true to who we are.
Yes.
Whenever we go to somebody else, it always gets filtered through somebody else's lenses and what somebody else's experiences are. So we can't blame them for wanting to see it through their lenses.
Sure.
We just have to have our platforms and our spaces so we can be true to who we are. And it's not taking away anything from anybody else. It's just really doing for us, being for us and doing for us.
Right. And then the roles, there was nothing stereotypical about the roles. There was nothing stereotypical about the roles. There was nothing buffoonery about the roles, you know, or those other, you know, epithets they tried to throw on to us. But I mean, it was successful young people of color doing their thing, living life as any human being would, but still embracing and appreciating our culture. and enhancing our culture and putting forth that type of example. That's what Living Single did for me, watching it then. And but Lord knows nobody wanted it to come to an end. It's like all good things have to come to an end. But it is great to see that all of you are still out there doing your thing, and all of you are still out there visible and still holding it up, and still doing your thing. I think that's incredible.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you are most welcome. What advice would you give to some of the younger generation that's in Hollywood right now? And, of course, right now racism is rampant. Not that it hasn't always been, it's just that the Band-Aid has come off. We know that all too well. But what advice would you give based on the experience that you had working on that set and probably others, um, to some of the young people that are in Hollywood right now, up and coming, and even those that are really, really out there right now?
Couple of things. The biggest thing I think, though, is there's only one of you. There's only one person that looks like you. There's only one person that sounds like you. There's only one person that does what you do. Don't try to be somebody else.
Yeah.
Be who you are. And when you get those jobs, talk to the people that you're working with, talk to the directors, talk to the producers, talk to those people. Start that's the thing I didn't do with Living Single. I didn't talk to those people. And that would have helped me after Living Single had I made those connections. So young people, when you're working on a set, talk to the DP, talk to the director, talk to the set designer, talk to the people that are working around you. And so you start to know these people. And when you go to another set, you see them and go, oh, hey, what's going on, man? Those people recommend you for things. Mm-hmm. Those people put your name in producers' ears, and it's just being personable. You don't have to be fake. You can just be personable, but it really is about being the best you can be, and study. If you're going to be an actor, then take a class, at least one. Don't just go up and, try to do something you don't really have any clue about. Go and study a little bit to see if you really like it. You want to do voiceover, take a voiceover class, take a character study class, get the education behind it. So you can go in, when you go into the auditions, you can go into the work, you go in with knowledge. You go in kind of knowing what to do.
Mm-hmm. No, that's great, great, great advice. Hi there, and I hope you're enjoying the show. As you can see, TC is still doing his thing. If you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you can be notified of all of our future events. And also be sure to comment on this interview so that TC will know just how much you've enjoyed this engagement. So again, thank you for watching, and now back to the show. How does your faith, or how has it and how does it now, how does your faith help you throughout your career?
I'm a very spiritual person. I'm not a religious person.
And there is a distinct difference.
Yes. Grew up, in the church, Baptist church, was saved, am saved, I should say. But I pray, I meditate most days. And I hear God all the time. I listen for those voices. I listen for that guidance. And I'm old enough now where I actually hear it. And I actually pay attention to it.
Between when you were younger and now, in terms of actually knowing the voice of God?
I didn't understand what it was. So you hear it, but you don't really understand what okay. And then you go do it and you mess up. You do it anyway, and you get older, you go, oh, that's what that was. Okay. And so now when I hear it, even if I don't pay attention to it the first time, when I hear it again, I go, okay, I hear you. Got it. Because spirit talks to us all the time. The universe talks to us all the time. God talks to us all the time. But people don't listen. you're not trained to hear it.
Yeah.
You're not trained to know what it is, you know, but we all have it. We all hear it.
Yeah. At your most, if there was such a time, at your most darkest time throughout your career, how did you come from that place?
Okay, so a few years ago, well, not that's one few, 2011, a lot of things happened. My mom passed, relationship ended, lost my house, lost all my work. All that happened within the span of a year. And I came down here to Atlanta because I told myself, well, you can't have a new life in the middle of your old life.
Mhm.
So I left and came to Atlanta. And I was doing what I was supposed to do, you know, going out, doing events and stuff like that. And I had this event to go to and had gotten dressed and got ready to leave the house. And I could not leave out of my house. I couldn't bring myself to go out the door. And about a week after that, I started seeing a therapist. And I would not be sitting here talking to you today had I not seen her. Had I not had somebody to tell me that it was going to be all right. Because the way she explained it, she's like, you know, when you have one of those things, that's enough to bring people down, crashing down. But I had like 4 life events
Mhm.
in the span of a year. She said, I'm surprised you're walking around. You know, and just that was enough to go, okay, so you're not crazy. You know, you're not. You're going to be all right. And I've been seeing her since, what is this, 21?
Years, right?
Probably since the 2015, 16, something like that. You know, and she has really, I tell people, you know, we don't tell people to go to therapists in our community. We say, pray it away, you go to church. I said, no, go talk to the woman that went to school that has tools, or the man that has tools that can help you.
Absolutely.
They have things that you can do that will help you get past these points in your life, you know? And so that was the thing that helped me come out of that, was actually sitting with somebody and talking with somebody.
How did you muster up the strength? Because as you know, it's not only it's a stigma within our community, but especially amongst Black men that you know, no, I can't go see a therapist. I can't, you know, we don't do mental health. I think it's awesome that you actually went to go and get help. What got you there? What made, because, you know, sometimes, like you said, when all these things are converging at one time, you know, what is that thing that says, you know what, I need to go and get help? What moved you to actually take that leap to
When
get
I couldn't walk out my door, when I couldn't go out of my house. That day I could not bring myself to go out of my house. That was the day I went, okay, something's wrong. You got to see somebody.
Yeah.
You know, and a friend of mine had mentioned her to me, you know, about a month or so ahead of time. And I called him. I said, okay, I think I need to go see her. He said, okay. He gave me the information, and it's been really good for me. Really, really been good for me.
And this is why I wanted to also have men on Hello Beautiful. Hello Beautiful is about encouraging women and girls to understand their beauty by design and know their worth. But I think it's equally important, you know, for us to hear from men, because we all have men in our lives. We have husbands, we have brothers, we have sons, we have cousins, uncles, friends. And to hear you say that, you just, it's beyond helpful to hear other men, successful, talented men that's still vibrant, still moving. But guess what? You know what? I had to get help too. That's huge. That's huge. Mental health, of course, you know, right now everybody's talking about it because of Meghan Markle, and of course with the Piers Morgan, I hate to even mention his name, but just trying to diminish her experience.
Yeah.
And you know what that's like, being in this skin when our experiences are marginalized. And mental health, and I'm glad we're starting to talk about it more as a community, because it is saving lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's great. At this stage in your life, what would you say would be your greatest accomplishment?
The fact that I have been who I've been and have lasted in this business and have worked hard to represent my community the way I represent my community. I think that's my biggest accomplishment. When you put it all together, when I look at the things I've done and who I've worked to be,
Mhm.
you know, who I've pushed myself to be, I think that's the biggest accomplishment. And there's still more. I'm not done because we have so much we need to say. There's so much in our community that needs work, so I'm really hoping that I can make a bigger difference that way in people's lives. We're working on some things, so we'll see.
That is awesome. What do you think Miss Annie would say looking at her baby boy right now? First of all, let me just point out, I like that place that you had gone to just thinking about your mom. That was
that's my best girl. That was my best girl right there. Miss Annie was something else. She would be happy. I think she would be proud of the man I've become.
Yeah. I have never met Miss Annie, but I would venture to say that I'm sure she would be proud because you make us proud.
Oh, thank you.
You do. I love it when we do well, and I love to celebrate us when we do well. And just like you said, stop always waiting for other people to validate our being, to tell us we're talented.
And one of the biggest disappointments to me was to go to the Image Awards and people didn't show up to get their awards.
Mm.
I was like, how do we not? It's the craziest thing to me. How do you not show up for the award from your people?
Yeah. Yeah.
So again, until we start doing better, it's not going to change. It's just not.
Yeah. And that's the unfortunate thing. I guess I'm one of those people that get in trouble a lot because I'll say the stuff that most people won't say. But we complain a lot, and some legitimately so, about what other people say about us, how other people portray us, and what other people do to us. But we don't talk enough about what we do to each other.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. If we took control over what we did to each other, our neighborhoods would be different. Our schools would be different. It's on us.
Yeah.
It really is.
Is living in Atlanta much different than Chicago in terms of community and what you saw back then and the environment you're in now?
That's a hard question because I was younger then.
Sure.
So I think for me at this stage in my life, this is where I'm supposed to be. And didn't really want to come back here. My mother was here and she made her transition here. So just had those memories for me. I didn't really want to come back. But the minute I decided I was going to go back to Atlanta, I got a job the next day. So again, when you do the things you're supposed to do, the universe goes, okay, here you go.
Yeah.
God goes, here you go. You're on the right path. Do the things you're supposed to do. So I think this is where I'm supposed to be right now, but I really need some beach. I need some water, because this landlocked thing down here is,
So we have a theme of this year, and the theme is called Defining Self-Love.
Defining self-love. Well, for me, the biggest thing I had to stop doing was the way I was talking to myself, what I called myself when I made a mistake, the things I said to myself when I didn't do what I thought I wanted to do. And I had to go, well, wait a minute, why would you call yourself stupid? Why would you call yourself a dummy? Why would you stop doing that to yourself? And the minute I stopped, it just kind of changed my whole energy about myself. Like when I make a mistake, now I go, oh, baby, you messed that up. You'll be all right. You'll fix it. Yeah, it's just a different mindset. And it really will change how you interact with other people too,
Oh, definitely.
because it boosts your confidence. It boosts how you feel about yourself.
Yeah, no, that's a great answer. And then I have to get this last little part in. We always do a word association. So I'll say a word, and if you can.
Okay.
I promise. Okay. NAACP.
Image Awards.
Yeah.
Image Awards. And we just did a performance for the virtual Image Awards. That'll be up sometime the week before the Image Awards. They haven't given us a date yet.
Yeah. March 27th?
That's the Image Awards, but we don't know what the virtual performances leading up to that will be.
I'm looking forward to it. I love Bill Withers and I love Al Jarreau and I love me some T.C. Carson. So that's gonna be a good mix.
You already heard about it, huh? Oh, okay.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
I'm good at what I do, sir. All right, Rebel.
Jazz, and good food and good people.
Okay. Title VI. I just love that taking you places. This is what I say.
Title VI, life.
Okay.
It was the program that brought music and theater to my school that introduced me to all of that.
Yeah. A doorman.
2626 Lakeview. First job I had when I came back from school.
Okay, Chicago, Chi-Town.
Home.
Okay, jazz.
Love.
Truth.
My life.
Okay, music.
My life. My life. I love music.
Yeah. Dance.
Expression.
Okay.
Expression.
Faith.
I'm trying to think of the word I want to say. All-encompassing. Embodiment.
Okay. Kyle.
My nigga.
Mine too. Okay. Now this is a selfish one, but Samuel.
Samuel?
Yes.
Mace Windu. Mace Windu.
Okay. And last, but certainly not least, TC.
Not finished.
Oh, good answer.
Not finished.
Good answer. This was awesome. We're definitely gonna have to do this again. We
Okay.
have time to really just sit down and chew the fat. I know you're a busy man, you got things to do. So I thank you for making time in your busy day. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure. We're gonna have to have you back for Hello Beautiful Eats. I'm gonna have to get you in my kitchen. How about that?
Okay, get you in my kitchen.
Oh, that's even better. How about that? Okay, that is a date. How about that?
All right.
All right, we will coordinate that. Thank you so much, TC.
You're welcome. Thank you. It's a great interview. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So I pray you the best. You be blessed and you be inspired, sir. And I will say until we meet again.
Until Auf Wiedersehen.
Wiedersehen. Hey, I took German in college. All right. Well, thank you, TC. You be blessed. And I'll definitely be in touch because I would definitely love to connect with you again, sir.
Okay. Have a great rest of your weekend.
On the next episode of Shannon Ayers Speaks, we are excited to meet the remarkable Leon Robinson.